What's up YouTube? It's Elijah the Hero, and today we're here to talk about more Marvel Midnight Suns. In case you did not know, the new DLC has dropped, and that DLC was containing Venom. You get Venom, some customization options, and a new story. This is continuing the vampire plotline that started in the Deadpool DLC, so I would advise you to get that DLC first if you are interested in getting the DLCs, but you're most likely even wondering if the Deadpool DLC is even good to start with. Well, I did do a review about that, so you can watch it on the channel. I'll have it at the end, and I'll have a card right here, just so you can click the video and check that out first before we get into Venom. And starting out with this DLC, we are actually going to talk about the story first before we actually get into what Venom can and cannot do in the game and what he brings new to the game. So like I said in the beginning of the video, this is continuing the vampire plotline and where that is really going. It didn't really go anywhere in this Venom DLC. It's kind of like a filler arc, I would say. It starts off by Peter getting kind of an indicator that Eddie is still around and the symbiote is still around after you drop that bell on him in the main game. So it picks up kind of where that left off if you're wondering what happened to Venom, so it picks that up. And again, these DLC stories do take place in between the Hulk fight and the end of the game, so it's prior to the end of the events of the game. So Lilith in this current time is still running around. You go down to the source to find Eddie, and he is like infused with vampire now, because he's been eating vampires. So now that he's infused with vampires, you have to fight him. So he starts off as a boss fight again, fighting Venom. You beat him, Eddie joins your side, and then Mephisto starts playing a part in wanting you to take down the vampires and basically hires you to take down the vampires because it's bad for business. And that's kind of all you really need to know without getting into any spoiler territory. Now we can talk about what you're really wondering. How does Venom play? I honestly really like Venom as a new addition to the game. He's kind of the opposite of Deadpool. He has this meter called Ravenous that adds buffs to his attacks, so he's more of a tank and can take out a lot of enemies at once. And I just like his playstyle. His playstyle is more for me. You could build any team really around Venom. He has multiple attacks where he can take people out in chains, and then he has a card that you can play that will add more Ravenous, but every time you use a card it depletes the Ravenous from Venom, so you're gonna have to keep mindful of that and have time for him to recharge with other cards and play other people, so that he's constantly not losing Ravenous and not losing his high damage output that he typically has. I do have to say that I do honestly think this is probably the best design I've ever seen for Venom. I'm honestly really excited to see what Insomniac's take on Venom is, but this is probably the best in-game Venom I have ever seen in a video game. I really like the way Venom looks. I like how the symbiote looks kind of outer-worldly, like it doesn't belong on Earth. I like his alternate costumes. He has the anti-Venom, the Fallen Venom, and then his Midnight Sun outfit, which I do not have, but I'll show you an image of right here. And it just looks so good. I really like it, and it's kind of crazy because I think that this Marvel Midnight Suns give us one of the ugliest Spider-Man suits we've ever gotten, but then they give us one of the best Venom suits we've ever gotten, and I just love it. I love the design. I could tell that they took a lot of inspiration from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon for Eddie Brock himself. He looks like he was pulled straight out of that adaptation, and they melded him a little bit with the comics, and this is the Eddie Brock that we got. He just looks like a blonde guy, big buff dude. He looks like Eddie Brock to me. Like, if I had to close my eyes and think of what does Eddie Brock look like, this is what he would look like in my eyes. So I think they did a pretty good job. Kudos to them on the character designs and the alternate outfits. They all look really good. So yeah, that's basically it for this DLC. Not much to talk about. There are some new schematics that you get with Eddie, but it doesn't really change much in the form of the game. I felt like this DLC was in the middle of the road. I do think the Deadpool DLC was a little bit better than this one. This one felt like a filler, and that the weight of Venom being the DLC character was supposed to carry it and make people buy it because it's Venom and people love Venom and Venomized things. So I kind of understand why the story was a little lackluster. I thought Mephisto was basically carrying this kind of DLC for me. He's interesting and I want to know what his like full plan is. But I do think the next DLC character is probably going to be Storm, and then Morbius will probably be the last one. He'll probably be the finale for this vampire story. But yeah, I would say, you know, if you're a Venom fan, get the DLC. If you're a Marvel Midnight Suns and you just want more of this game, get the DLC. But if you just casually enjoy Marvel Midnight Suns, and this DLC is not for you, I don't think this season pass is really for you if you're just casually enjoying Marvel Midnight Suns and just like playing card-based games, because I feel like it doesn't add enough variety for those type of people. But if you're a fan of Marvel and Midnight Suns the game as a whole, then yes, this is for you. But if you're not, then no. And that's my review of this Venom DLC. Thought it was pretty middle of the road. If I had to give it a grade rating through 1 through 5, I'd give it a 2 out of 5. It was just okay. It felt like a filler and unnecessary, really. But yeah. Tell me what you guys think about Marvel Midnight Suns. Do you like this game? Are you still playing this game? Do you have the season pass? Do you like the characters? Let me know. Put it all in the comment section below. And if you do want to see what I felt or how I felt about the Deadpool DLC, that is also at the end of the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I've been Elijah the Hero. Peace.
Never heard of a dollar, well you should come see me. Shimmer baby, I come up and lead a block heated. Walking around me like Tamaki, that bitch not needy. Chocolate skin on Hibana, my bitch is conceited. And all you gotta do is call me when the lights dim in. With 100 bitches around me, I'm just not simping. I'm really him when you see me, don't know it's not clicking. How could I be true to me if I'm just not kicking?